There's a big tamasha in our newsroom today, and that's because the team from Tamasha has landed up at the India Today Mediaplex. Imtiaz,
Hi.
Deepika and Ranbir. Welcome. Fantastic having you. You've taken over the India Today Mediaplex and there's tamasha all around. So it's great to have you all with us.
Thank you.
Imtiaz, I want to start by asking you, given that you've done Rockstar, do you now think that every film that comes out from the Imtiaz stable will be measured from the benchmark set by Rockstar?
I think it might be, but I'm not trying to take that very literally. I'm trying to just improvise and tell the story that comes closest to my heart.
So you did Rockstar, you were the Rockstar. He looks like the Rockstar though much more than you do. How things changed with Imtiaz between Rockstar and
It's
now?
the same. Imtiaz had a story to tell during Rockstar, and now he's not a clone of that. He still has stories to tell. And that's why he is such a regarded filmmaker, loved filmmaker. Not just by film people, but also somebody like you. You said you're a big fan of his work.
I love his work.
So that's only because he's not cloning himself. He has stories to tell, and they're very new, original, and very Indian stories.
What was it like for you, Deepika, to work with Imtiaz, given the kind of work that he's done before this?
We've worked together before
in
Love Aajkal, and for me, my equation with him is he's probably the one director I'm the closest to.
In what way? I read you saying this earlier as well. When you say you're closer to him than you are to others, what specifically do you mean?
See, he's understood me. He understands me better than I understand myself. He offered me a film in my career or in my life when I had not even thought about joining the movie industry. So in that sense, and then I worked with him when I was really, really new. I mean, of course, yes, I debuted with Farah and I did 2 films after that. But in the way that he understands me, nobody else understands me the
Why
way
is that,
he does.
Imtiaz? You also said that her emotional quotient has grown.
Yes.
So in what way?
I think I'm just very fond of her. So I try to look at her more. I'm interested in her in that way. So I think that's what brings out the understanding, if at all. I don't know whether I deserve the credit that she gives me, but I'm very fortunate to have seen her early, and I'm very fortunate to be seeing her right now.
Tamasha is about 2 people who go to France and become different personalities.
Yeah.
Does that happen in real life as well, Ranbir?
No, that's why it's a movie.
When you go on a holiday, do you try and be someone who's different, try and ensure that you don't get recognized,
Yes.
no paparazzi, no photographs?
Yes, of course. You enjoy that sense of freedom. But yes, in the case of Tara and Ved, because they're not actors and nobody recognizes them, they decided instead of following the route and the same story of I say my name, you say your name, oh what a small world, and then I'll start hitting on you, we'll sleep together, we'll get married, and the same rigmarole of life, they decide to play differently. They decide to do something on the spur of a moment. Let's be different people, because this is that opportunity that 2 people don't know each other. We can really have a good time and not have that tension of sexual tension or any tension between us. Let's just have a good time and let's lose ourselves.
Was that a bit like it was for you in Corsica? Because I don't know how well recognized you were, but I'd assume far lesser than walking down the streets of Mumbai or Delhi.
Yes, I think...
So you're able to lose yourself in Corsica?
Absolutely. I think it is the kind of place that allows you to sort of lose yourself.
And do some matar gashti on the side too.
And do some matar gashti. And I mean, slightly more technical, but I do feel the space that you're in as an actor when you're performing a particular scene has some sort of... subconsciously something happens, So of course, if we are supposed to do matar gashti in a place like Corsica, it adds subconsciously somewhere in the performance, it definitely comes through.
We were asking people to send in questions on Twitter, and they wanted to know from Ranbir how it's like to work with Deepika, given the fact that you've known each other for so long and you've seen good times, you've seen bad times. So how tough or easy is it to work with her?
I don't have an opinion if it's good or bad, but there is a deep sense of trust. When you work with actors and you work with a director like Imtiaz, you have to be emotionally naked. You have to trust people so you can bear yourself in front of them without any judgment, and also trusting that they will acknowledge that and they will take it further on. And I don't think I feel that with anyone better than Imtiaz and Deepika. So for me, it was really a dream team to work with.
Has anyone mistaken you for Ranbir? Because when I was coming in and said Deepika is going to be with us on the newsroom, they say, oh, Ranbir is coming as well. And I heard that happened on the Aaj Tak show as well. Does it irk you?
No,
it's amusing.
It doesn't irk me. Our names are similar. And Deepika is working with Ranbir and she's working with me. So there are many times that even before Ranbir debuted, people used to call me Ranbir because Ranbir is a little bit of an odd name. Ranbir is something which people are usually named more, but it doesn't irk me.
So he's, we had him at the conclave. He's hugely high energy, and it's unbelievable how high energy he is. What do you make of just the high energy that he throws out?
Well, that's why he stands out, because not many of us have that energy. Not many of us exude
Yeah.
that sense of abandon and really, speaking from the heart. But we all are different people, That's why we stand out in where we are, and we can't clone each other. We have to be our own personalities.
So how does being with Ranbir compare with being with Ranbir?
Very different. Very, very different. They're different personalities, they're different people, they're completely different actors also. Even in my working experience with both of them, the kind of films that they're drawn towards are different, the kind of performances that they deliver, their approach to their work is very different.
Okay, Imtiaz, you see all these screens around you all through the day today. They're going on about, comments made by Amir Khan, where he says that Kiran told him about moving to Pakistan, moving out of India and not being...
Moving to Pakistan?
No.
Moving. That's a faux pas.
Kiran said that, she's so stressed by what's happening around her that she considered moving out of India, not being in India. Now there's a huge debate. Now you're a very thinking Bollywood actor, and I want to draw you out on what you make. Director, I said. I want to draw you out on what you make of this whole intolerance debate.
Unfortunately, we've been so involved with promoting the movie and thinking about the movie and making sure that everything is good for the release that we haven't had the time to see the interview or really...
But forget the interview. I'm saying leave the interview aside. My question to you is this. Do you sense that there is rising cultural intolerance in India?
Right now, we are really far away from that thought. We are in the thought of Tamasha. So it's difficult to comment, really.
That's like a good diplomatic answer. You've thought through that. If this googly comes at me, here's my standard reply.
Absolutely. You thought we'll not think about it.
No, but is this not also a very important issue where so many Bollywood
It's a very
stars, from Shah
important,
Rukh Khan to Kamal Hassan, they've taken positions. Shouldn't you, one way or the other, take a position too?
Yeah, I should take a position, but before that, I should give it enough thought. And everybody has a position. But the thought has to be given, I think, because I do realize that I'm here with you, and this is an important platform, and if I say something which I haven't thought through, it might end up being what I don't intend for it to be.
Do you think in some senses it's unfair, Ranbir, that when a star, and they're asked questions about what's important that day, and if they answer, if they don't answer, then they say, "Ye kuch bolta nahi hai." Hollywood stars take so many positions, our stars are so scared. And when they take a position, now we just saw effigies of Amir Khan being burnt in Patna. That's unfair too.
Correct, absolutely agree. But coming back to Amir Khan, I was with Amir Khan last week at his house, and I know him very well on a personal level, and I know that he's one man or one film personality who really cares for the country. His ideologies, his thoughts, he's been entertaining the country for the last 25 years. So it's not what he's made out to be. I'm sure he had a point. I'm sure he was trying to come to something. Maybe what he said was said in a wrong context. Again, I'm nobody to judge because I wasn't there at that present moment. But I know his heart is with the country. He's not somebody who wants to run away. Even if Kiran or anybody had even mentioned it, he would be somebody who would contradict it and make the other person believe otherwise.
I was just chatting with your dad. And amongst the things that he tweeted, so I won't talk about our private conversation, but amongst the things he tweeted this morning, he says, "Mr. and Mrs. Amir Khan, when things are going wrong and the system needs correction, repair it, mend it, don't run away from it. That is heroism." That's your dad.
Well, my dad has a very strong point of view also. Like you were just mentioning, him being a film personality, he's not afraid to express what he really thinks.
Are you?
Well, I'm not on any medium, so I can express it on your channel right now, like as in what I am saying. But I haven't had this chat with my dad myself, what he thinks about the issue.
Do you think there's rising cultural intolerance in you?
It's a mix of both. Because we have so much in our country. I think our country also gives us a lot, what probably the other countries don't get. So there is always desire and there's always want to have more. There are certain things that you don't agree with the system. There are certain things that you agree, which will always be there. But I don't think it's fair to say that there is intolerance because there is a lot of good around also. I don't think it's an intolerant country to the extent that people are making it out to be.
Do you think that's important? Because you're saying that in the manner in which it is being projected that India and Indians are intolerant, you're saying that the level of intolerance is not quite the way that it's made out to be.
Because media is projecting it in a very negative way. If the fact that I've mentioned these two words is also is misunderstood, it's misinterpreted. My thought. If I have a thought, just the fact that I'm addressing it or I'm expressing it, that itself becomes a sensationalizing of something which I'm not really trying to mean. Because, like I said, when I don't know, I don't know what's happening around us, why are people saying such things, because I'm also consumed with my work. I may be not a good Indian citizen because I should pay more heed to this. I am a film personality, I have a voice, a certain influence, so I should take a stand. But unfortunately, I'm not that person right now. You know, I don't have a stand for anything right
Okay, let's hear from Deepika as well. Do you sense, Deepika, that cultural intolerance is rising? Bollywood seems to have taken positions on different sides, you know?
Sure.
Kamal Hassan, Anupam Kher on the one side, Shah Rukh and Amir on the other. Where does Deepika stand?
I don't know, honestly.
Why not?
I'm not, because I'm not someone who, I don't understand politics. I don't understand.
But this is not about
and
politics,
I
this is about
don't,
you being a citizen.
Sure, of course. But I think I'm going to agree with Imtiaz. It's something that I haven't given too much thought. I'm not going to say it's the film promotion, but it's not something that's been on top of my mind. So if at all I ever comment on something like this, I would think it through before I do.
Ranbir, you're not much on social media, and I've asked you this question a couple of years ago, and you've seen how stars like Priyanka Chopra, as an example, have leveraged social media. Amitabh Bachchan does it phenomenally well, Shah Rukh does it really well. Why is someone who's much younger, should be more tech savvy, choosing to stay away from an opportunity to promote films like Tamasha?
No, I'm extremely tech savvy. Like, I am more tech savvy than most of the people in the studio. But I don't agree with the platform, because I do believe...
In what way?
It's my personal opinion. Now, whatever I'm saying necessarily may not be the right thing, but I feel that there is anyway so much of overexposure about me. Movies, promotion, giving a bite now about intolerance and tolerance, which will probably run for a few days, ad films. So there is a certain sense of mystery which is dying of especially film personalities. There's so much of conjecture about my personal life. I don't want to sit and have a platform or medium where I'm constantly, trying to defend it, trying to contradict people. I'm trying to express myself. I'm trying to also make an image of myself, which I really am not. You know, social media is a very tricky thing, because sometimes you're also projecting things which are very happy, which are very influencing, which is,
Your dad told me
films.
that you apparently told him one day, "Aap kyun jaake bolte ho?" Everybody gets it. Is that a conversation happened?
I have never said that.
You've never
to be
said
honest,
that.
I don't say beyond yes and no to my father. So that's not something I've said. But
Is this something you agree with, Imtiaz? The fact that Ranbir says there's so much exposure about stars
I think it's
and
a
what they do,
personality thing, right?
that he doesn't want to expose more about himself than he does already.
I think it's a personality thing. He likes his personal space. He does not like to intrude upon other people's personal spaces. So it is very suitable for him to not be on many social media. But somebody else.
Like Priyanka, for example, is live chatting all through Quantico. So there's an episode of Quantico that's playing in the US and then when it plays in India, and she's talking to her fans. It's a great way of reaching out and communicating.
So that's her personality. She's an extrovert. He can be introverted. So they're both comfortable in that. So social media allows you to be who you are. You can take the choices that you want to take.
And Deepika, what about you? This whole thing about people running into controversy, possibly because they said something that they did on social media, or do you think it's a great way of reaching out and saying what you want and in some senses joining the conversation?
Sure, of course, I think it's what you make of it. I'm again someone who's largely introverted. I'm usually someone who I just say the little that I have to say, and I think my fans have also made peace with the fact that I am on Twitter, to say very little.
Why is that?
And that's it.
Why not live interactions? Why not say much more, interact much more?
I don't feel it necessary to. I don't feel that it's important for people to know where I am or what my mood is or what I'm eating for lunch today. It's so boring. Why would anybody want to know?
There are enough and more people who seem to be more than just interested.
I would find it really boring, and some things are also very personal. I don't feel the need to be. I don't feel the need that that I need to be extremely open about absolutely everything. There are some things you have to, as actors, anyway, you're exposed to a lot. Emotionally, you're exposed to a lot because of the line of work that we're in and the characters that we play. So some things you want to guard, some things you want to keep, and more than anything, I genuinely believe I'm a very boring person. I usually don't have much to say.
Imtiaz, you've never, for any of your films that you've done so far, run into any kind of trouble with the censor board, have you?
Not really, not big trouble.
Well, the Tibet thing.
The Tibet thing, yeah, we discussed that. I remember.
That was a bit of a tough spot for you guys. What did you make of the censor board wanting to chop off James Bond's kisses?
I don't know.
Have you seen Spectre?
I've seen the uncut version. So
Where did you get to see the uncut
in
version?
London. I was shooting out there. So while watching the film, I didn't really think that there was anything which was so censor-worthy. I don't know what cut he's made, but I am under the understanding that even the censorship in India, because we live in a country which has a very high value system, which is, the culture is very strong, they have certain guidelines. I remember when I was young, and if I was watching a Hollywood film with my parents made us close our eyes whenever two characters kissed. So that is the upbringing that I have had.
Things have changed in the time you were a kid.
They have,
right?
that's what I'm saying. But I have grown up with certain values. I've grown up with a certain upbringing.
So what? Next time there's a kiss, just show two flowers.
No. Having said that, that's what I said. If there's an 8-second kiss and you make it 4 seconds, I don't know what the impact of that is. I don't understand that. I understand rating system that children of like there's a PG-13 film, so you need parental guidance of people under 13.
Or would you like the censors to be more liberal?
Of course.
Because
as
India,
creative people, you
India
want
as a
that.
society is evolving. All of this in any case is available online. So even if, for example, you say that, okay, the Spectre case, you won't knock off, people will just go elsewhere and see what they have. More people will see it than otherwise.
Sure.
Do you think, Deepika, the censor needs to be more liberal?
I've been very honest about the fact that I'm sitting on the fence as far as this is concerned, because on one hand, as creative people, I understand what that freedom means to us and through the films that we make. And we don't necessarily intentionally do things to sensationalize them or to... but also on the other hand, I think I somewhere understand the impact that films have on children, on society. So I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I'm very confused right now about...
Imtiaz, are you confused too, or you
No,
think
I feel
censors need to be more liberal?
I feel that...
Is it unfair to chop a James Bond kiss, for example?
I don't know. I've not seen the James Bond case, so I can't really say whether it was unfair in that particular case. I as a filmmaker, would always want the censor board to be extremely liberal and not ask me to change anything in the film. But I also understand that I'm a film director. I'm not a government official who will decide what kind of things should be doled out in a family viewing scenario to the audience. I can't be the person to decide that. And as Ranbir said, there are some guidelines that are written. I can challenge them, I can dissent, but then I'm definitely not in a position to say for a fact that this is what is right and that's what's wrong.
And I think, I used to hear stories of my grandfather, when he made films like Ram Teri Ganga Maini, and there was a strong opposition to the way the lead actress was presented. So unless a director has a strong point of view that, listen, I'm not making this film to titillate people, there is a certain social message, there is a certain influence I'm trying to project through my film. So as long as you're clear about that, they'll see it. They said they are also, cinema people. They're sensitive. So as a director, if you can convince them, if you feel this is right for the film, I'm sure they'll listen. They're not stupid and irresponsible also.
And also, we are feeling a little positively about the censor board right now because they've been very sensitive to us.
Sorry, it doesn't matter what they do with James Bond as long as Imtiaz gets a clean run with the censors.
Absolutely.
That's what's important. Okay, I want to come back and end with Tamasha, because this is at the end of the day about Tamasha. How much of a Tamasha do you make in real life?
Well, I can't help it, but Tamasha is made...
Not Tamasha when your fans just give up everything that they do
I know
and stop
Tamasha
to
means.
gape at you and not work, which is what they should be doing, all of them around here right now. But not that. But I'm saying Tamasha in real life.
I don't actually, I'm an introvert, I'm a homebody. I like chilling at home. The times that I'm not working on a film set, I just like to vegetate and not do anything. So I believe that my personal life is quite non-tamasha-ish.
Who made a bigger Tamasha on the sets? Deepika or Ranbir? No, we'll ask the director, he's the boss.
Actually, I think it was Ranbir. I think all that he said right now was also some sort of a false show.
Hogwash.
Hogwash. Don't go by his innocent
Hogwash.
face.
Really?
Yeah,
Hogwash, bhola shakal, and then behind that lots of
Always works.
Tamasha happening.
Always works.
Ranbir, you just want to project for everyone out there to believe that this is like this very nice, non-Tamasha person.
Absolutely.
He's more Tamasha than you, you're more Tamasha than him.
It depends. We have our moments.
It's difficult to say.
Yeah, we have our moments.
Who did more pranks on the sets? He's looking at both and saying it's a tough
Yeah, it's
call.
really tough because often the pranks are done together. They are hand in glove. They get each other more than any other people, more than the other people on the set. So they're often hand in glove. So it's difficult to say who started it.
It could just be like a Jodi number one working together. You guys are now being called the new Kajol and Shah Rukh of Bollywood. Is that something you like?
Of course, you feel great. Shah Rukh and Kajol are legends, but it's not something that we completely accept because we have a lot of body of work to leave behind, a lot of great work to do, and then probably. But right now, we know it's just...
You talk about this. Even the last time you were chatting, you talked about this. The body of work. That's something that's important to you? especially because of who you are in terms of your family legacy?
No,
The body of work
as a
in
cinema
terms of being
person.
recognized as being a fabulous actor.
No, that's what I'm here for, right? I'm an actor. I'm not a.
So the number of crores it makes on the box office doesn't matter as much.
No, of course it matters because if the number
Which
of
matters
crores,
more?
both, because you become a great actor if people are coming to watch you. I would do theatre. Why would I do films? I have a medium where I can reach out to the entire world. So of course you want numbers, and numbers are very important. So I'm not making movies for myself. You know, even when Imtiaz makes a film, he makes it for an audience. So numbers are very important.
Okay, what about you? What's more important, the legacy that you leave behind as a very serious actress, or the commercial success that you enjoy?
Oh no, it's not about legacy, about serious films or serious work or commercial films. I don't differentiate films like that. I mean, I can do a Chennai Express and a Piku, and for me, they're both the same. In terms of what I give to a film as an actor or my
Are you
process
trying to
of
look for more meaningful cinema? Is that something that you consciously try and find? That let's try and find the script where, you know, there's more substance to what I'm doing.
I don't have that power to find. I will work within what I'm being offered. But yes, as an actor in the industry right now, it is the most exciting time for any of us, I think, for the kind of stories that we're being able to tell, for the kind of stories that we can be a part of. It's definitely a very, very exciting
Okay,
time.
we've got a song lined up for you from your film. We want to call that out on the big screen behind us. You like our studio, Deepika?
Love it.
Ranbir?
Love it, love it,
Absolutely.
love it.
That's
Couple
why you
of
must say,
times.
this is what we need in the promo. Quickly.
Love it.
Love it.
Nisagama mani pamaga ni pamaga sa ni pamani sa pasa जहाँ तक यादें याद आती रहेगी